Folks, welcome in to Home by 3. Go for 1, stay for 2. Home by 3 on the program later today. Joining us, arguably the greatest college tennis player of all time, Stevie Butter Johnson. But before we get to that, Bob Gucci, 93-93, 93-1. Bob, last night, had to call the fire department. My building, if it wasn't for me, probably would have started on fire, but that's why they're going to build a statue for me one day in this town. I was doing the Lord's work. Yes, I've had people question me in this building if I even live here. Yes, I've had to battle different things with different residents here, but the HOAs come after my chin before. I was doing the Lord's work last night, man.
So what happened?
So as I was just doing my nightly walk, it was a nice night out. I was walking on my path, and one of the lights I noticed was fuming, like that kind of lights up the pathway, right?
Mhm.
So it's like a 4-foot light. And I look at it, and the thing is like, it's almost like short circuiting, and it's fuming from the light fixture, and underneath it is a fire. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It almost looked like a gas grill. You know how the flame comes up, blue flame?
Mhm.
So I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's making a weird sound. It sounds like it might blow up. So I walk by it, kind of go into my building. I'm like, that's not right. Like I can't leave this hanging. So I go back to it, and now it's really starting to light up. Like it sounds like a firework. I'm like, holy fuck. So I get the security guy's number from the stand kind of right by the building's entrance, and because he wasn't there. So I call him, and I'm like, hey fella, like this light fixture is smoking. There's a flame underneath it. It might blow up. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not a fire guy. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, 5 minutes? Like this thing's blowing right now. Like you got to get here. So he makes his way casually over there, and it legit took him 5 minutes to get there. So in that time, I called 911.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I mean, if this thing blows up, there's trees around it. I mean,
No way.
we can't have this happen. So I called 911. I called the operator.
Was it a dude or a chick?
It was a chick.
Did she sound hot?
She sounded Hispanic.
Ooh.
So I called 911, and I get him on the phone, tell him about the situation, just as I explained, and the fire department gets over there. In about 7 minutes, they send engine 612 over. So these guys show up. I wait for them to get there, go downstairs, and yeah, they basically said that I saved the entire city of Scottsdale. They're like, if it wasn't for you, this whole city would have been in flames. I'm like, I might be the real MVP.
So there's a lot of type of fires out there, like electrical fire, there's grease fires. Was it an electrical issue with the light, and it would have sparked all the other lights on fire? Because everything is connected. Like that's what I learned about fires recently, or electrical fires. So
yeah,
like everything underground is like everything's all attached.
Exactly.
So it just would have went pew,
yes.
Like everything would have went up in flames.
Yeah, it would have been a full on bombing scene. They told me that there was a small chance of it actually starting on fire, but from what I saw, that small chance, it didn't look like something I could leave for chance. It wasn't like something I could just go up to my unit and just be like okay with letting happen. You know what I mean?
Going to bed after seeing a potentially
a
fire about to start.
But they were kind of laughing at me. They're like, "There's a small chance that this."
They were laughing at you?
Oh yeah.
Who?
The fire department.
Fire department?
Yeah, after he offered me a job on engine 612, he's like, man, like, you probably could have just left this to the security guy. I'm like, the security guy? He's high as hell right now.
Security
this guy's a moron.
Don't care. Yeah, security guys don't care.
This guy looks like he's a glorified Burger King worker.
Yeah, the security guy at my place. Remember that guy was stalking that girl?
Yeah.
He was rolling around on the grass, peeking in her windows. I told the security, and the guy was like, yeah, whatever. Like, they don't care.
No, they don't care, because I would love to see a security guy's resume prior to getting that job.
Probably some sort of prison or in the army. It's usually like post-army guys. They just go right into security.
The security guy, when he rolled up onto the scene, his first question to me was, you called the fire department? I said, yeah, because you're not going to do anything.
Well, a fire is starting. How are you the bad guy?
That's what I'm saying.
You're the good guy.
So yeah, I mean, it was crazy. They did offer me a job though. They're like, we like that. That's leadership. Leaders lead. You lead from the front. They're like, you're gonna have to play your offside. I'm okay with playing on the left. I can do that. But they were giggling at me, but at the same time, they were like, "That's good leadership. You were assertive, and we can start you off with a base salary of roughly 58,000 per year, which is triple what we're making here."
Firefighter guys don't like to be bothered, though. That's the thing. A firehouse. So my racist grandpa, who died in a landscaping truck incident, was in the fire department. They don't like to be bothered, and because usually they're in the clubhouse, they're smoking cigars. Some of them are actually cuddling together. A lot of gay firefighters out there. People don't know that, which is fine. You could be gay, but 99% of being a firefighter is watching movies in the lounge, because fire departments have lounges. Like they have really nice chairs. They have a buffet, popcorn, candy, Skittles, whatever. And a lot of the times they're cuddling up and watching movies and just waiting for the calls and stuff. So you probably, my guess is like you interrupted a good part of the movie they were on or something. And then they got there and they're just like, dude, what the fuck is this? But I mean, better safe than sorry, especially after all those the libs basically burnt half of California to the ground with a match. So,
yes.
And that's just one little tiny match. So when you see anything resembling a fire, like, yeah, I wouldn't clown you for that. I would say, like, you are a hero.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, and not all heroes wear capes. Some of us wear Lamar Odom jerseys, but I did feel like I was like this. I think I'm the citizen of the week in terms of being, in Scottsdale here. I don't know if they're going to send me a medal. I don't know if I get some sort of plaque or statue eventually, but it seemed like I interrupted a really important game of cribbage or cards at the firehouse, like you were saying, and they were just all like giggly, which was pretty funny. But man, I wasn't leaving it for chance. I can't do that to my people, and especially the people of Scottsdale. Like, we're already building an arena from scratch. Do you think I can let this go on my watch with my building burning down? No, dude. The whole city would have burned down if it wasn't for me.
Yeah, and then you have a lot of people. I mean, you could have always just stopped, dropped, and roll, because that's what they tell you to do, which is crazy.
What about all the other people in the building? They can't just stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't have that on my conscience.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I'm kind of pissed off right now at the fire department. For you guys are first responders. You guys are supposed to be like, oh yeah, good job. This is your job, and you're gonna make fucking fine. Next time I won't call. Next time I'll start the fucking fire too, and I won't call.
Yes. Yeah, so, Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire, but on that note, the police also showed up.
What?
And they're gonna actually send us a couple hats to wear on the show.
Okay. All
right. Yeah, we got that going for us. So we're basically backed by the boys in blue.
Blue lives matter.
Blue lives do matter.
Remember they were like, Black lives matter. They're like, they couldn't say white lives matter. So there's like, you know what? Fucking blue lives matter.
Yes.
Like, that was a funny cover up. For like how was that a rivalry? Black Lives Matter was a rivalry with Blue Lives Matter all of a sudden.
Yes.
But really, the Blue Lives Matter people wanted to say white lives matter, but it was like, we can't say this right now. So
we got to go blue.
Like, Blue Lives Matter.
Yes.
And then that was a rivalry.
And then the Asians got pissed, and they were saying,
Asians got pissed?
Yes, man. And they said yellow lives matter.
Stop Asian hate. Remember that phase?
Asian hate?
That was huge on Twitter for like 3 months. Hashtag stop Asian hate. And I was looking around like, who's being mean to Asian people?
Who do you think if you're going to name one race, what do you think people are most on board with making fun of? What race? What do you think it would be? Would it be Asians?
White people.
White people? Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, you can go white face and nobody says anything.
Yeah, white people.
So white people, and then if you're doing the hate, like the humor hate rankings.
Ooh, like what race gets hated on the most?
Yeah, but in a funny way. And people are okay with it.
I don't really have an answer for that, but I will say that ginger people get the most hate out of all races and everything like that.
Yeah,
like, I know like they didn't enslave gingers, but I'd say orange-haired people. Does that count?
Yeah, I think it would fall under the white category, but it would be like a subcontractor in that same category.
I don't know. I guess maybe Asian people, just because the way their accent sounds. But we go over there, we sound like dumbasses. Who cares? Everyone sounds dumb.
Ginger is a good point, though. Ginger people are a little weird. They're a little. Yeah, I mean,
are they?
Yeah, man, they are.
How, like, give me an example.
They're just unique.
Yeah.
I think they're just on a different wavelength. I mean, you wake up and have red hair, man. A lot of times, your parents don't even have red hair.
That's the thing that gets me the most. Like, how did that?
Right.
How did that? I think by default they're a little bit weird. I mean, you wake up and you look down, you got orange pubes. I feel like you're going to be a little bit off, And that's no disrespect to our ginger listeners.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense though. Your dad's black and your mom she's a brunette, and then all of a sudden you're ginger.
Yeah.
Like, where did I get that? Was that my dad's side?
Probably your mom taking Tylenol.
Yeah,
It might have been.
and Percocets.
Yeah, Tylenol and perks. Yeah, dude, I don't like that. The Scottsdale Fire Department was clowning you for that. That's like a big deal.
Yeah,
That's like a big deal. You if something's on fire, you call the fire department.
dude, you should have heard the sound of this thing. It sounded like it sounded like popcorn in the microwave after it's done. It just like when you put popcorn in the microwave and it's done popping, but it still is shooting off.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like a powerful.
Yeah, that could easily spark something, and fires go quick, man. Getting back to my,
it was to the point where I had to step away from the vicinity because I'm like, I'm not going down with this light pole.
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys show up and they're like, I thought they were literally going to give me like a badge of honor. And then they're just like laughing.
They kind of big dogged you.
Yeah, but I then big dogged them back.
How? Like, what do you mean?
I said, I'll, call me if you need another guy on your roster here. And they're like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I could do your job.
I mean, firefighters, yeah, they're like, I get it. You on paper, you have to respect them, but most of the time they're just hanging out.
Dudes hanging out, dude.
Dudes being super gay. Speaking of white people and Asian people and stuff, Columbus Day, controversial as always. I didn't know the NHL had games going on right now.
Yep.
I wonder if it's like they see that as an opportunity to have games on the Monday. I didn't know games were happening. I forgot about Columbus Day. I thought that we canceled this holiday already. Because Chris Columbia, everyone knows, not the best dude, but we're still going.
His hands were tied, though. It's so long ago.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, what do you really do?
Columbia?
Yeah.
I mean, he pillaged villages, like murdered people. They were doing some raping. Like, it wasn't good.
I think a lot of people did that back then, though. I don't know if he deserves a holiday, but
that's what I'm saying, though. Like, I get it. That's the way you had to conquer back in the day. I mean, he was also a fucking dumbass. He thought this was India, that dumb bitch.
Yeah.
He thought he floated across the Atlantic. I don't know what it took, like 3 months. He's like, yo, this is India. It's like, buddy, you're way off. You're not even to Hawaii.
Imagine how high he was, though, thinking about that.
He was probably cooked, yeah.
Yeah.
And like half the people on the boat died and shit.
Yeah.
But he got over here. I just think he was a jackass.
Yeah, I didn't know him.
Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't know Chris Columbus, so we can't really like talk shit about him. He's not here to defend himself, but at the same time, conquering was the way to go back then. Is how you had to do it. I mean, I think like doing raping on the side, that's unnecessary. Like if you're horny, you could take care of that in other ways. But to get a holiday, I feel like they gotta erase that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, on the power rankings of holidays, it's really low. I don't even know if it's not even top 15, dude. How about why is it's Christopher Columbus Day here, but then it's Canadian Thanksgiving in Canada? Why is Canadian Thanksgiving so much earlier than U.S. Thanksgiving? Was it because did the Canadian settlers get drunk with the Indians first, or did they beat us to the punch where we landed the Mayfurta at Plymouth Rock and then got together with the Indians? Like, how does that work? Why is the Canadian Thanksgiving before the U.S. one when I'm pretty sure the U.S. was a country before Canada?
I don't think Canada had any holidays, and then they saw what we were doing, how much fun we were having, and then they decided to piggyback off ours, but they put their holidays in front. So now it looks like they came up with it first.
Okay, because I was just curious, man. Like, that makes no sense in my head and chin. It's like, I'm pretty sure Columbia was the first one to do the Thanksgiving, or the Mayfurta was the first one to do it when they landed at Plymouth Rock. So now, like, where in Canada did they get together? Was it Quebec City? Was it Newfoundland? Like, I have so many questions. I think it's a make-believe holiday for Canadians. I really do. And I love Canadian people, but I think it's made up.
Well, what are y'all giving thanks for up there? Like, we're giving thanks that we were able to take over Native Americans and pretty much ruin their civilization and make it ours, right? Like, we're thankful that we were able to do that, and we had guns before everybody. I don't understand what Canada is giving thanks for. Just in general, like, we're just thankful to be here. I don't know. Jamie, pull that up.
They should be thankful for us.
So, is that what it is? I genuinely don't know what the Canadian Thanksgiving.
Didn't we give Canada their land?
No.
Who gave Canada their land?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Canada, the history about it.
Well, I'm pretty sure Canada was an English settlement, obviously, before it was Canada.
Where did the white people in Canada come from?
I think they just walked north, man.
So we were all here, and then they just went north.
Yeah, I think they were like the rejects that didn't make it here, respectfully.
Okay.
Not that they're rejects now, but I'm saying they just kept walking north and they're like, damn, like, I mean, you walk from South Beach to the Yukon Territory, dude, like that. There's a reason why it's cold up there, brother. They don't have beaches.
Yeah, you're a reject. Maybe they were just the rejects. I don't know. Or maybe they wanted to play, I don't know, maybe they want to play hockey. Was pond hockey played first in Canada?
Yeah,
I actually don't know that.
Yeah, I think so.
Was it?
Yeah, man.
Jamie, pull that up.
I think it was on the St. Lawrence Seaway. If you know what that is. Now, this is a geography show, but yeah.
Yeah, it's right up near Montreal, kind of.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It works its way down the half fall into the Great Lakes. I think so.
I just don't know a whole lot about Canada being a civilization. Like, I don't know, because the United States, there was a lot of drama. There was a Civil War, the War of 1812, World War II. There was a lot of stuff going on, like, and in all the states. They were in Boston.
Yep.
Chris Columbus is like, yo, fuck, we're not paying taxes, bro. And all that drama. Slaves, that was a whole other thing. Confederate guys, they wanted to keep having black people do all the chores. Canada, I don't feel like they had any sort of drama ever. Am I right on that, chat? Am I wrong on that?
No, I think you're
What drama did they have?
I don't think any. I mean, we bought the Louisiana Purchase was from France.
Yep.
The exploration out west with Louis and Clark and their Sakakapurta. Like,
who the fuck is Sakakapurta?
Sacagawea.
Oh, Sacagawea.
Yeah, Sakakapurta.
Yeah, there was mad drama, dude.
Yeah, man. Like, I just don't know a whole lot about Canada, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I feel like there was no pivotal moments where, like, the United States, we had to, like, come together against Britain and be like, none of you guys have good teeth. You're all ugly. Your women aren't good looking.
They're still ugly.
Why are we bowing down to you? Like, why are y'all taxing all the tea in Boston? And then we fucking had a clash about that. Like, there was a lot of work going into getting America to be America. Like, I know this is a hockey show, but like Louis Vuitton and Clark was a whole other thing, bro.
It's crazy.
Two gay dudes walking across the country and be like, you know what? We want all this shit too.
Yeah. And yeah, they're making their way up the Mississippi River. It's crazy that Britain was such a powerhouse when you look how small it is. Like, it's the size of Wisconsin.
Yeah, why?
Like, how are these guys so powerful? Like, where were the people in Africa? Why weren't they thinking about this? Were they just happy with being in Africa and having an amazing continent full of wildlife? Like, why did these dudes from England all of a sudden start moving west when they thought they were going east? Like, it makes no sense. How about the Asian dudes? Why didn't they come on the back side of the Pacific?
Which side? The Pacific?
Well, they could have came in the back door.
The back door of America, the butt of America.
They could have came right up the anals of the U.S. through the Pacific and conquered L.A. Dude, Diddywood could have been like Vancouver.
Yeah, imagine
way back though.
Yeah, imagine Louis and Clark were like going west in the United States, and then the Asians came up sneakily, just came right up the butt, and then they ran into like a ton of Asians. They would have been like, "What the hell?"
I mean, they were so late on their sneak attack. Like Pearl Harbor was 1940. Like, dude, you were like 200, 300 years late, bro.
Also, like, I'm rattled that they got our ass. Like, they did bomb those boats, but we were like, "Oh, you sank 2 of our boats. We're gonna actually bomb your entire country." Like, I feel like that's in America. You don't really mess with America. And also, to your point about Africa was not seeing the ball right, because y'all are so much built better than us. Everything, their calf muscles. There's, the NBA is the NBA for a reason. But like, they're so much better at, like, they have more people, they're stronger, they're more physically fit. And the only difference is that the Europeans came up with the guns first. That's all. It all comes back to porn, but it also all comes back to guns.
Yeah.
That's why the Britons, first of all, they were the first one to wear a king crown. So I feel like people are like, oh my God, this guy has a crown.
Entitlement.
Yeah. So everyone was like, the Britons have all the power. They have the guns, they have a king, they have a queen. They have the princess, who's a huge whore, and like that pretty much ran shit until America was like, all right, like, enough.
Yeah. Well, the thing is it comes back to porn, but guns and porn go hand in hand, man. It's all control.
It is all control. I just don't get why. You're right though. Like, Africa was probably distracted by the wildlife. I'm sure there's really nice places in Africa.
It's crazy to think though, like Colombia, and I know this is a hockey show and it's going to be a tennis show rather quickly here as Stevie Johnson's coming at the top of the hour, but isn't it crazy? Like, you're just hanging out in this small country that you don't even really know the size of it, of Great Britain. And you're like, it's like a Sugarland song. There's got to be something more.
That's a great point. Maybe nobody knew Great Britain was small, and then they finally looked at a
You
map
you
and
know
they're
what I
like, "Wait,
mean?
these motherfuckers have all the control."
You know what I mean? And like, how do you even know the size of the country you land on? And how do you even know that there's more out there? Like, were they listening to Sugarland back in the day? There's got to be something more.
I don't even.
Got to be more than this.
I don't get how they know how big anything is, even with satellites. How do you know?
I mean, it makes sense now that you can fly above and get a bird's eye view of the chin of different things. But back then, dude, it's like you're just hoping and wishing that you. It's like throwing a letter in a bottle across the sea and just hoping it hits something.
But how did they know the size of all the states? Like in the 13 states that were coming down, like how did they know the size of the states? Like the internet just came out like 20 years ago.
Yeah, well,
like how did they unify?
Yeah, you could calculate borders and territories just by dune buggies and horses, though. Like you could map out what a mile is or get relatively close, and then mountains obviously dictate the size of different things, or there's rivers. Rivers are a big thing. That's how you tell direction.
Yeah, there was a lot of
and the stars as well, bro.
Think about how that's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people can't even get around with a GPS on their phone. Imagine back then, you got to rely on the stars, the sun, the moon.
Like
You got way more feel, dude. Like you don't even need mushrooms back then.
Maybe the Asians didn't know about the Pacific Ocean going over to. Maybe they just didn't know.
Couldn't see it.
Yeah, you couldn't see the United States.
They had widescreen.
Dude, when Lewis and Clark were walking, they were probably like 2 days in. They're like, bro, how much land is this? Like they had no idea. They were only in Alabama. And they're just like, dude, how big is this country?
It's crazy.
The United States is a big country. Pretty big.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's massive, dude. I mean, we were just in Texas. Look, that's the size of
huge
of a lot. Texas is bigger than a ton of countries out there.
Did Louis Vuitton and Clark, did they get through Texas? Like, did they walk through?
Louis Armstrong and Clark? No, they walked.
They stopped at Louisiana.
St. Louis and West is what they went. So they went through the Badlands of North Dakota. They went through the Black Hills of South Dakota, and then they ended up basically just south of Seattle. Like in between Seattle and Portland, they're like, wow, we hit the ocean. This is it.
Wow, there's a lot of Starbucks here.
Yeah, they're like, who are these people?
Who are these lesbians?
Clark, that's a barista.
There are a lot of women's slow pitch softball players in this area of the country. Yeah, it's weird to know that actually happened. Like that's a weird thing. Like people are really discovering land and fighting over land, and like you said, like Pocahontas, and people are trying to hook up with her, and she wasn't even 18 yet. It was just so much weird history in the United States that we deserve these holidays. And no disrespect to Canada, I don't know what y'all. I don't think anyone really cared.
No,
they were like, take Ontario. Oh, you want Mississauga? Take it. We don't give a fuck. Saskatoon, fucking be my guest. Move in. No one gives a shit. United States, mad drama.
Yeah,
there's so much drama in the villa.
Yeah, man. Thunder Bay. I would actually pay you to take it.
Yeah,
have it. What is this?
Yeah, please take that.
The only reason why Canada has a bit of history with it is with the territories and the Hudson Bay is for trapping fur. So a lot of people needed mink coats back then. That was basically what Canada was for, was the trapping business.
Yeah,
and I still have my guy up there. It's been in his family for years.
Whaling was big up there because of the blubber. You can make LL Bean boots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
whaling.
Yeah, leather.
The Eskimos. Talk about races.
Assless chaps.
Yep. First of all,
lube was big up there too. They were making lube for.
What do they make lube out of?
What's that?
What do they make lube out of? Like where does?
Yeah, it's like
sap from a tree.
It was maple syrup and a little petroleum jelly, and they would do that on the east side of Sarnia.
Yeah, I mean Canada. The thing about Canada, there's a lot of resources and stuff. Like there's glaciers and stuff like that. There's a lot of like things that we need in Canada. There's no way anybody was beefing over the territory up there. Once it got a little cold, they're like, we out.
No,
we're going to LA. I'm surprised more settlers didn't argue over places like Miami and LA. You know what I mean? Like, why was there no war of Miami?
I don't think they could see the vision of it, man.
What do you mean? The palm trees, the beach? Like, how did Puerto Ricans not be like, nah, we're staying?
No, I know. Well, first of all, I think Puerto Ricans came after people in Miami.
Oh, dude, I'm thinking of Cubans.
Yeah, Cubans first. Oh, Havana, yeah, for sure. But the thing is like those places, I don't think people could really see the vision outside the 13 colonies first. It's like, whoa, what is this?
Maybe because
people in Florida are like, whoa, this is really far south. This is a sunny place. There's a lot of shady people. People like, I want to be in Boston where the town's small and
Four Seasons.
yeah, man. And they didn't have planes, trains, and automobiles. You had horses, dude.
I feel like if I was a settler and I landed in Miami right away, I would have been like, oh yeah, beach parties. Yup.
Yeah, but think about like what that land was based
Hookers.
around. Yeah, hookers. But think about what that land was based around back in the day.
I don't know.
Slaves and politics.
There was no slaves in Miami.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's why you went. That's not appealing.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of farmland, dude. It's a lot of just Everglades, right? Miami, all these places in Florida. I mean, there's the inland parts of Florida is all just swamp. So they're probably thinking like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, ew.
So you couldn't see the vision of the beaches and the Hooters on the beach and Daytona and
right
and Fort Myers, and there just wasn't that. It wasn't resourceful.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you don't have a strip of hotel bars and patio seating, you
Right.
kind of I get what you're saying.
You know what I
like,
mean?
You kind of can't really like.
And Georgia was all cotton fields.
Yeah, no fake titties yet.
Right.
Right? Like a lot of Florida, a lot of Miami's just like the women.
Right.
So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like
I see
those
what you're
dudes,
saying.
like Colombia and all those dudes, Fernando Magellan, they were like, this is kind of useless land.
Fernando Magellan.
Yeah, it's a great dude. He made a GPS before anyone did.
Magellan?
Yes.
Jelzy? He invented the GPS?
Yes, he did, man. Look it up.
You ever have one of those GPSs, those Garmin's?
Yeah. Well, Magellan was before Garmin.
Majeezy, bro. Just figuring out. Oh man, he must have got so many women, so many
paid,
girls.
Dude. Yeah, he got paid out late, but he did well.
Who was getting the most chicks back then? Like, you don't have sports, you don't have athletes, you don't have movie stars. So like, who is it? Guys like that, guys that are making the GPSs, and guys that are kind of a little bit smart. They're getting all the babes.
Well, he was a conquistador.
So
they
definitely, yeah.
He was that Spanish dude, so he had that dark tint, so he could play anywhere from South America all the way up to Canada, and he was very versatile.
Yeah,
Colombia, pale skin, pigment off. I would lean towards Magellan.
The conquistadors, they had a lot of clout for sure. They were conquisting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they were conquering.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff up there. They were doing a lot of stuff everywhere. But anyways, yeah, this is a hockey show.
You see Johnny Taves flip the puck to the guy in the chin hat?
Yeah,
that was sick. I mean, we threw it out there, but that was awesome.
Yeah, we put that. If you didn't see that, it's on our Instagram. A guy wearing a chin hat in the first row of the Winnipeg game. Johnny clearly saw the chin hat. He's like, oh my God, this guy's also a HB3 fan. And then threw his kid a puck. That was cool. We're getting that mainstream. I could only imagine how pissed NHL Network was that we were on the network. They're probably like, fuck.
And then, the Ottawa Senators shouting out the chin. Jake Sanderson, Brady Tkachuk basically came out on the same day, saying that you got to keep the chin tucked. And then Brady was doing an interview saying it's going to be chin on chin tonight. Like, imagine how mad the mainstream media is. See, like guys like Dick Westhead are probably so pissed. So Mark Lazarus is furious.
The Senators have to listen to this. Somebody on the Senators,
of course,
listens to this.
What do you mean? Jake Sanderson's a North Dakota guy. Brady Tkachuk. I mean, he's been on Missing Curfew a bunch. These guys know the chin. Pinto, Parlay Pinto.
Boy. Shout out to Shane Pinto, man.
These guys know it.
They know about the chin. That's why I knew I liked their squad.
Yeah,
I knew you could tell when teams aren't Ferda and when teams are Ferda. Yes. That's pretty much how I go off who I like and who I don't like. I don't like teams that are nerds. I don't like that. Colorado Avalanche, not going to name any names. Nerds.
Yeah.
Besides Nichushkin. Nichushkin Ferda, he's nails.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
So,
I mean,
he's a guy.
And that guy had to go to Malibu directly out of the playoffs because he got caught with a hook daddy.
Yeah, and I don't know why that's looked down upon. It wasn't like he did anything bad. He was just drunk with a hooker, right? Who cares?
He's not the first guy to pay for it.
Yeah, he's not going to be the last.
No.
People are always going to be hooking.
Yeah.
No matter what, hooking will always be around because guys, they're like pussy. I don't know what to say.
People will be paying for things like sex until the world ends. That's just
it's a good business, man.
I mean, look at Europe. They have the brothels, dude. Like,
smart.
And people are actually, they look up to people that go to those over there. It's a different culture.
Yeah. Speaking of culture, this episode is brought to you by Free Chew.
Free Lip.
It's also called Free Pouch. I got the mega pack in my hand right now. Tell me one other company that will give you a bag of 100 pouches. Okay. This product contains nicotine, and nicotine is addictive. But you know what? What's not addictive?
So is gambling.
Gambling's addictive.
Gambling's addictive. What else is addictive? Porn's addictive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things. Playing tennis is addictive.
Playing tennis is very addictive. You can constantly be working on your game. You can always be getting better. And hey, you can play until you're 80. You can play until you shudder directly on the court.
Yes.
And not a lot of people know this. Tennis is a hand-eye sport, which helps you live longer. But besides tennis, free chew comes in. I gotta stop saying free chew because it's not called that. Free pouch comes in 12 milligrams, all the way down to 3. You don't want to buzz too hard at your uncle's funeral. Pop in a 3-bagger. All right, 3 bags, 6, 8, tons of flavors. They smell good. I actually had these all in my tennis bag. It smells amazing. These are all wintergreen. Actually, they have a bunch of flavors. Wintergreen.
That's mint.
Wintergreen. We're getting more too. We're getting a huge shipment of chew.
People are always looking for a new chew company too. Something
Yeah.
that's in between a Siberia and maybe a Copenhagen. This is it, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Guys like it. I'm putting them in between my toes. I feel really good. I got them right now.
Yeah, I popped one in at the ASU game. It was nice.
Yeah. So free pouch, free chew. Where can people find this? On IG?
I don't even know. We don't have the ad reads yet, but
Okay.
we're just being nice guys and going above and beyond because that's what we do.
That's perfect.
So it's online. You can order it. Like they have tons of different types of strengths, tons of different flavors. They have a couple more flavors rolling out. We're actually trying to get our own flavor, but they're telling us that, like, guys, you can't just come up with your own chew flavor. But we're guys that we think differently. We think above and beyond. So we're still fighting for that.
Yep.
We might just call it something the chin. I don't know what flavor it's going to be. Maybe like strawberry, maybe something a little
watermelon sugar.
Watermelon and grape soda.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be sweet if we had our own flavor though.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, like an orange or something. I don't
know. We've given it out to guys in the league too, and we're like, hey, guys that chew their face off, we're like, let us know what you think, and all the reviews have been positive. So it's good to promote something that everybody likes. Sometimes you get offers to promote shit that you don't really. It's like, dude, I'm not going to promote that.
I like this bag too. 100 count of lips, dude. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. That reminds me of the Stokers back in the day where you could just get the big old bucket, but 100 count, that's going to last you probably at least a week.
Yeah, all my buddies that chew a lot were stoked at that. They were telling me, like, there's 100 of them in there. Like, they were loving it. And it's easy to carry this bag around too. You can't carry 100 of these around.
Yeah.
You carry this around, put it in your back pocket.
Easy to travel with too. TSA stops and you're like, dude, I throw in a ton of lips. I'm all good.
Somebody said I recently switched to lip pillows after 15 years of darts, 12 days in so far. Well, I guarantee you're going to relapse, but if you don't, congrats. Like, that's a really good achievement. Darts for 15 years. Oh my God. Give your lungs a break, JCD. Fuck me. Let me know what happened. Let me know when we have to.
I'll send you over the
Stevie McJagger.
Yes, I will get his email right now. I don't want to dox that, but I'm just pulling that up right now, folks. Stevie Johnson joining the program again. If you're new to the program, if you're a reoccurring friend of the show, go over to homebuy3.shop and check out all of our latest merchandise. It's all on there. I got the Home by 3 shirt on right now. It's a show about a show. It's so comfortable. It's good quality, guys. I'm not just saying that because we designed it. We like to wear our own shit, so it's really good quality. Go check those out. Homebuy3.shop. Also, we're hitting the road in December. And in December, it's going to be a December to remember. You're not buying a Lexus. You're going to a Home by 3 show. Chicago IL December the 3rd in Schaumburg at the Comedy Improv. On the 4th, we'll be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my home state, baby. And then we're going to Bob Gucci's home state, but upstate New York, December the 6th in Buffalo, New York. And then we're finishing it off, the Let It Snow Tour, Pittsburgh, PA, the Rust Belt, December the 10th. So go check those out. Again, 4 cities, 6 nights, the Home by 3 Let It Snow Tour. Fired up for that. Go check those tickets out. They're all in our links, whether it's personal accounts or the Home by 3 official on IG and Twitter, Bob. Buffalo, those tickets are moving quick. Chicago, come on, baby. We need you there. We sold that building out last time we were at the Barn Hockey Bar. We're going to have a bus to take people from the city to Schaumburg. So if you're worried about driving or stick handling, well, we got you covered. December the 3rd, Chicago. The 4th, Milwaukee. 6th, Buffalo. And the 10th, Pittsburgh, PA. Fellas.
All right. We're gonna
get Stevie.
Why the fuck is there hockey on right now, dude?
I don't know. The Bruins playing, they love Christopher Columbia Day.
Yeah, they are.
Love it. I'm going to ask him about my racket, eh? Fuck. Got the old Yonex. He's a Yonex guy.
So he was the best college player of all time, but is it like a Manziel situation where he's just doing so much dust, or he just like was good at college?
Yeah, I mean, he was a solid pro, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
wasn't he ranked 30 or something?
21st is his best ranking.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, he won a bronze medal.
Yeah, it's no disrespect. I just didn't get into tennis till 3 years ago.
Yeah,
so
he was a really good player. I think he beat. We'll get into it with him. I mean, I think he beat 3 guys that were top 10 ranked over his career.
Nice.
4 ATP tours wins, that is singles. So yeah, Stevie was a hell of a player, man. Now he has his own podcast. That is the No Majors pod, I believe, with John Chisner.
That's the name?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
With Johnny
That's a funny
Chisner.
name.
Yeah, so he's a good dude. And shout out to the USC team. Mark Lasurio, was his coach. They're actually coming to the desert this week. I want to go pop over there and watch USC practice maybe on Wednesday. So yeah, he's a good dude. We appreciate him for coming on the show about a show.
Yeah, I just sent the invite out.
Sent the link.
Anything on the hockey front we got to talk about, chat? Like, what's good with hockey? Like, obviously the Rangers suck. Haven't scored a goal at Madison Square Garden, I don't think, in 2 games. Buffalo sucks. Anything positive? Like, anything?
I don't know. I mean, we just talked about Christopher Columbus for about 45 minutes. We can talk about it after we have Stevie on too. I don't know what's really going on. What are we 3 games into the season? Florida's 3-0. Yona Gadjochin just re-upped. They re-signed all their guys. Lane Hudson, he got a nice ticket. 8 years, whatever it was, 8.55. How hard, yeah. Alrighty, folks, without further ado, we are going to bring on arguably the greatest college tennis player of all time. Folks, he had a 72-match win streak, the pride of Orange County, California. Now you can find him on the No Majors pod, 4-time ATP singles tour winner, as well as a bronze medal in Rio de Janeiro. We're going to bring on Stevie Butter Johnson to the program. Fella, how we doing?
Is he frozen? Oh, shit. Oh, no, he's not.
We got him?
I think we got him. I hear him. You there, Steve? I don't think he can hear us.
Can't hear us.
You might have missed that whole intro.
No way.
You might have.
That's okay. The people could hear it though, right?
Yeah.
Steve, you got us?
Steve, paging Steve.
Steve.
His audio.
Yo.
There he is.
Did you miss?
We're back.
You got us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I just gave you a nice intro, Steve. I don't know if you heard it, but I'm going to do it again for you.
I missed it. Thanks for the tire pump, fellas.
You missed it, but I'll do it again here for you. We'll run it back. Folks, without further ado, bringing on the program, arguably the greatest college tennis player of all time. At one time, the USC Trojan, former USC Trojan, had a 72-match win streak, 4-time champ on the ATP Tour, bronze medalist in Rio de Janeiro. Friend of the program now, we are welcoming him on, Stevie Butter Johnson to Home by Steve. What's up, fella? Thanks for joining the boys over here.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what's up, man? I see the Solani jersey in the background, and as a hockey show that talks about hockey roughly 5% of the time, he's a pretty good player himself. No,
he's a pretty good. Yeah, he's a good hockey player. He's a good tennis player. He's a good dude. I'm an Orange County kid, so I grew up a Ducks fan. So lucky to call Timu a friend now. Play a lot of tennis with him, some golf. Just hang with the boys. He's one of the all-time greats. So
yeah, the Finnish Flash, my friend. I played a year in Helsinki after I was done stateside, ripping around in my suitcase, bouncing between the NHL and the minors. But in terms of his tennis game, obviously you've played against all of the greats. You were a hell of a player yourself. Like, is he a guy that if you go play with, like, he can compete with a guy like you?
Totally, yeah. You never take the athlete out of somebody like that. He's an absolute animal. He doesn't get nervous when a little tennis ball is coming his way. I promise you that. He's seen a lot of harder things come his way on the ice in his job. So seeing a little tennis ball come at 130 miles per hour is no stress for the finished flash.
Are there guys out there that actually get scared if someone has a big serve or someone like goes for the body a lot, and you kind of can tell that they're a little bit nervous? Is that a thing in tennis? I didn't know that.
Not really. I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, there's a few guys that have, the serves like 140, 150 miles per hour that will sometimes like go at the body to kind of back you up. But in the end, I mean, look, dude, sports is sports. Like, I think tennis players are a bit soft at times and they complain about this kind of stuff, but it's, you got to go through a guy. Sometimes you can't go around him. You go right through him, and, it's just, you'll be fine. You hit with a tennis ball, you'll be just fine.
Yeah, that's true. Imagine getting hit by like Opelka or like even Shelton, like those serves. Was anyone serving that big back in the day, or is that kind of a new age thing where these guys just, everyone's on peptides now, everyone's doing different stuff, everyone's got the Normatex on? It's like, was that big serve style 140 kind of like, is that new? Like, is that
erotic?
It's more normal now. I think just, dude, these young guys, I mean, just look at any sport, right? Like, they get bigger, they get faster, they get stronger just as they kind of go along. But we had a few guys, John Isner, a couple guys you might not know. This guy, Sam Groth, Ivo Karlovic, that would serve in the high 140s, 150s. But it's kind of a dime or dozen. But now these young guys, dude, like, it's their bodies are just built different. They're just freaks of nature in a good way. And they just have more juice left in the tank. Us older guys, we don't have a lot left. So we hit it that hard, we could lose a shoulder for life.
Yeah, no one boozes anymore either. Like, all these kids figured out that alcohol is bad and stuff like that, and the processed foods. And back in the day, like, everyone was just mucking a bunch of processed foods with pesticides. But anyway, yeah, I just got into tennis heavily like 3 years ago. I'm completely addicted. I play it all the time. So I wasn't really dialed into, whether it be 15, 20 years ago, how the game has changed. But yeah, these days, I mean, seeing it in person is absolutely insane. I mean, when we went to the Miami Open, you get to sit a little bit closer, kind of a smaller feel there, even though it's inside the football field. Seeing it up close and personal, it's insane to see how hard the ball gets hit.
Yeah, I feel like anything, right? Like, you watch hockey live, it's like, I think hockey live is like the greatest sport you can watch. I mean, it's so fast. You guys are so physical, so dominant. I mean, it's just remarkable what you guys are able to do out there. And the same with tennis. You get up close, watching on TV just doesn't do it justice with how physical it is, how much the guys are moving, how hard the ball is getting hit and whatnot. So it's a great sport to watch live, but, there's a lot of dead time in there, a lot of time in between points and stuff. So it's a good social event though, for sure.
Steve, I want you to take us back to your days as a USC Trojan, brother. 4-time team champ, twice on the singles department, 72 match win streak. Like, when you're doing that, first off, it's a two-part question. When you're doing that, and how many of those 72 matches are you playing a little hung or a little stung, I like to call it? And two, you got to be considered one of the greatest tennis college players of all time, no? Right? Like, I mean, with those accolades, I don't even know who else would even be up there. Maybe a John McEnroe way back in the day with Stanford.
Yeah, look, I mean, I definitely had probably one of the better college careers, strictly college speaking, right? There's a lot of guys that have played college tennis that had better, professional careers, but in the college sport, I'm arguably probably one of the best. I'll let somebody else argue that on my behalf. But yeah, there was a few times when you're out there, look, I played at SC, right? So, back in the day when it was the Pac-12, I mean, everything's kind of messed up now, right? But it's like, when you play the UCLAs or Stanfords of the world, you're probably going out there at trying to be at 100% if possible. But, you get that, like, random Tuesday match against Hawaii or Cal Poly. There's times where Monday night kind of went a little long with the boys, and you come back out, you're going to take care of business. And, if we didn't quite show up the way we needed to, our coach wasn't afraid to get us out on the track, or make sure we weren't too bad out there playing those lesser schools to kind of get to our end goal. Yeah,
for sure, and especially if you're tearing it up at Venice or Santa Monica back in the day, just maybe gas is on the right, brother. But like, just getting into tennis, especially being done with hockey, you got to find different things that are different avenues to kind of get those competitive juices flowing. And as a guy like that, we were texting a little bit before this, as a 3.5 or a 4, a bad 4 rating, like my game, bro, like I'm not perfect out there, but the one thing I wish I did have in my bag was the one-hand backhand. Like, did you ever think when you were playing, like, fuck, like Feds just look so juicy with that one-hand backhand? I wish I had that, because to me, it's just so much swaggier than the two-hand.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, like in my career, if I had any sort of backhand, I was basically like Stevie Wonder when it came to the backhand side. Like I couldn't see shit and I was terrible. So my backhand, was arguably maybe one of the worst you could have on tour at the given time. But I did all right with it. But watching guys like Roger Federer, it's an absolute artist at work. I mean, it doesn't matter what sport you are. There's certain people that were born to do certain things, and he was a tennis player from the get-go, and the way he moves, the way his body works, the way he was able to time the ball, the way his demeanor was, like you put all those things together and it's an absolute joke what he is able to accomplish. Because as tennis players, we want to try and replicate what he's doing. And, we're pretty good. I was 21 in the world. Like I'm trying to do stuff that he's doing and it's impossible. Like that's how hard the stuff that he's doing, and he's making it look so effortless, right? Like there's just certain guys that are just better than everyone else. And there's just nothing you can do about it. But yeah, I wish I had one of his backhands or Djokovic's backhands, you name it. I'll take any of them.
Yeah, the skill gap is something that I'm always fascinated with. Like the fact that Sinner, like these days, and Alcaraz are just 2, and like guys that are, ranked 7, 8, 9 just can't even touch them. Like it's unbelievable to me. Like if you run into those guys, it's like, all right, well, might as well just pack my shit. I don't know if I'm even gonna unpack my shit in the hotel. Actually, I'm just gonna I'm gonna check out before the match. It's just kind of crazy how it works like that. For you, what was it like going from college tennis to the tour, especially when it comes to things away from the court, like travel? Like there's a lot of talk right now about how rigorous the schedule is and the mandatory tournaments. And you see guys like they go down with injuries, and it's like, yeah, well, no shit. I mean, with the way they're traveling and how much they're playing, what was that like adjusting to a schedule from college schedules?
It's hard. I mean, on the tour, it's really hard. Like, it's, coming from college, especially, we traveled as a team, right? I mean, we like to equate ourselves to we're basically nomads. Every week on tour, you travel by yourself to a new city, maybe with your coach or girlfriend or wife or friend or whatever, whoever you're traveling with. And every week it's like, fucking new hotel room, unpack your shit, new city, new court, new surface. All right, you lose, go to the next city. I mean, we're basically a traveling circus. And, when things are going well, like life couldn't be better, right? You're on your own. You're just individual sport. You can ride that momentum as long as possible. But when the lights get turned off and it gets a little bit dark, you start losing 2-3 weeks in a row, first, second round. You're not winning any matches. Like it's a lonely existence out there with nobody else to kind of help you out. And that's the hardest part about our world. It's very lonely. I mean, look, I would have killed to be on a team sport in my, in tennis, just because you get the camaraderie, right? You lose with the boys, at least like you could have some type of, solace in the fact that you guys are all trying to do something together. When you win, you could celebrate together. So it's tough in those moments, but I think that's what makes our sport so hard. It's worldwide travel week in and week out, 30, 35 weeks a year, and you just nonstop.
Stevie, I wanted to ask you, like in hockey, there's always these guys that necessarily, they may not be like the best players, but they're the most skilled players. A guy I always look to who could stick handle in a phone booth, do anything out there, just a full-on magician, would be like Alexei Kovalev, like the sickest hands you've ever seen. So in tennis, like, is there one name out there, a guy that you used to hit with or played against, or like, yeah, maybe people wouldn't know necessarily how skilled this guy was? A drop shot, just like almost like an artist with the racket.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those guys. Look, I mean, that's the hard part about being an athlete or, in any sport, right? Like you could have the skill, but you got to have the discipline and work ethic, week in and week out. And there's a lot of guys like that. I mean, a couple come to mind. This guy, Nick Kyrgios, Australian guy, made a finals at Wimbledon, a few years back, like arguably one of the most talented players out there, but just couldn't put it together mentally week in and week out, and kind of just by default, like I thought held himself back, from winning slams and whatnot. But there's always those guys that are more talented than you or more, better than you in certain things. But, that's why you go out there, right? It's mano a mano when we're out there. It's like, we're basically just playing for lunch money every day, right? Like somebody's going to take some money from me, and, that's what you got to try and stop from happening.
What is it like, the process of like getting a coach, and because then you got to pay them and then your physio and all that? Like how tough is it to survive on tour, like just getting started? Because you see all the top guys, they got a whole team or whatever, but also their prize money is through the roof. They got endorsements. It's easier for them to have, the physio and the team. And, you see Sabalenka walks around with like 14 people and whatever boyfriend she has.
Boyfriends.
Yeah. So it's like, but for the guys that kind of are in the grind of things, like not the top 100 guys, like how do you navigate? I guess, is it just come down to winning? Like the more you win, the bigger your team gets. Like it's crazy. It's such a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, in our world, it's freaking nuts, dude. Like, because like we're the owner, we're the GM, right? So I'm paying my coach to tell me what I need to do better, right? And sometimes that shit gets old when you're paying somebody and they're telling you you're doing something wrong or you need to do something better, right? So that gets hard, and that's why sometimes these partnerships don't last. But I was lucky in my career. I had a coach, a physio I shared with another tennis guy, Sam Query, who retired around the same time I did. We're really good buddies, so we were kind of like a little team. So we played the same tournaments, we traveled to the same schedule, which worked out really well, but it's expensive, right? You're paying their salaries, their travel, all their stuff week in and week out. I mean, it's, $200,000-$300,000 a year just in expenses and salaries alone, paying coaches and that. So it gets expensive. So it's beneficial to win, that's for sure, and get into those majors. And now, I mean, the prize money and the Grand Slams are really good. So those are just keep going up and up. So if you can get into the top 100 and get in those events, unless you're a complete moron, you're making money. So, that, but it's those smaller tournaments, they get sticky sometimes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, are you putting your coach like on a Southwest bird? Like, here's boarding zone C62 fella. We'll see you, at Wimbledon, or we'll see you in New York at the prime time for US Open. Or are they is that all up for negotiation, I guess?
Yeah, it's kind of all up for negotiation. It's all up to you, right? Like, I wasn't that worried about it, right? Like, my coach isn't going to be doing shit that's going to be outlandish and expensive, right? Like, but we travel every week. We're going to stay in the same hotels. Like, I don't want to be at, if we're in, New York and we're at wherever, right? You're not going to have your hotel or your coach stay at like the Howard Johnson, right? You want them to be together. You're a team. You're in this thing together. So look, it's crazy though. In our world, the better you are and the higher you rank, the less you pay for, right? Like, you play these tournaments, you're getting appearance fees, you're getting free hotel rooms, you're getting paid to show up to these types of events where you don't even have to worry about the prize money. So it all comes down to anything in life, right? The more you win, the more you're going to make, the better life is. So just get out of the lower ranks, get out of the coast, get out of the AHL, get up to the big leagues and move on.
Yeah, and speaking of moving on for the finance part of the show, when it comes to you, what was your favorite tournament to play at? I always wondered this from a player's perspective because, like, being a fan is one thing, and I haven't been to too many. But for you, like, what was a tournament you're like, I can't wait to get to that tournament?
Yeah, for me, it's kind of a relatively easy one. Look, I love playing Indian Wells out in the desert, out in La Quinta. I'm from Southern California, so that was kind of home for me. I drive out there on the off days. We're playing golf. We got a good life out there. It's pretty easy. We're pretty well connected. But other than that, look, I mean, you can't beat the US Open, which I know you were at this year. Like, the atmosphere is a joke. Like, how do you not get jacked up to go out and play on Arthur Ashe or Louis Armstrong? That's some of the pinnacle of tennis, or center court Wimbledon. Any of these events are just, I mean, there's nothing better than, a lifelong kind of goal achieved, right? You made it to the big leagues. You're there, you're on the biggest stage in the sport. And there's nothing better than those events for me.
Stevie, I wanted to ask you because, I was doing my pre-scout on you like a good Samaritan does. And I got tipped off a little bit. How many rackets do you think you've snapped over your professional and amateur career? Are we talking hundreds?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
no
for
way.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Look, I mean, just like in anything, you're getting fined if you're doing it in, on the big stages. You're getting fined, but there's been many times, as I know where that question came from, where our boy Mark has seen me fold probably 4 or 5, 6 rackets in a day. Just, you're having a bad day at practice and you just take every racket out of the bag. You find the nearest pole, you shatter them all, you get in your car and you go home. Look, sometimes you got to just let it out. And, we can always get new rackets, right? You can't get a new brain. So you gotta figure that shit out. Just get it out of the system and move on.
It does feel really good to shatter a racket, though. When we were playing recreationally, for some reason, I took it upon myself to smash a pro staff that costed me like $290 because I was playing poorly in set 1 of a tennis match that does not matter. But it felt good. But I actually, after that, I didn't feel like buying rackets every week. So I will say, though, it's a good feeling just smashing the hell out of that thing when you're playing bad. And sometimes it helps, man.
Like it helps. You let it go, you get the anger out, and you just move on. Like you don't want to hold that in and linger. Just fold it in half, Bo Jackson one over the knee, and move on.
100%. Yeah, it's a little different when you got to pay for them though too, right?
Yeah, that is true. That does get expensive. If I had to pay for them, that might be a little different.
Right. This guy was like all in for like $1,000 one week, I think, just breaking all of his rackets. I'm like, dude, this is an exhibition on a Tuesday. What are we doing here?
And we're only playing one set. Like, this holds no weight, at all. And I'm out of shape.
And you're hung.
Yeah, and and also it's on camera because the courts are right where I live. There's courts where I live. And they installed these new security cameras. So not only that, now the whole HOA is like, this guy is a fucking maniac because I'm just out there on the courts shattering.
Who is this jackass?
And they know exactly where I live too. I live right there. So.
Yeah.
That's when you get the footage and you just make a nice little highlight reel for yourself, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually should request that footage. That's a great idea. I will.
It's never bad to go back. I got a bunch of those floating through the phone. Look, shattered one here, threw one out of the stadium in Mexico. You name it. I've done it all.
Wait, we need a. Can you elaborate what happened? You threw the racket out of the stadium?
Yeah, this was. Our boy Mark was with me on that one. I think he started booking his flight when I did that because I knew that he knew that match was over. But yeah, I lost. I was losing to this kid I should never have lost to, in a bad place mentally, and no one's in the stands basically because it was, I don't even remember. I think it was last round of qualifying or whatever, right? And I just threw it out of the stadium. It was a good throw, like proper throw. I hope it's still there, like somewhere in the wilderness of Acapulco. But
did you crow hop on that throw? Like, was it like straight from center field?
Yeah. It was I probably shattered it like twice on the ground and then just gave it the good news out of the stadium. It was not coming back. It was It was no longer of use to me.
It was a Brett Favre airmail, just an old gunslinger. Hey, Stevie, I wanted to ask you, I'm playing this Yonex Precept right now. It's 100. This waffle board, it feels a little wide for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking to switch my racket. I just don't know where to go. It feels a little light too. It's 300 grams. Like, what were the specs on your racket? And you're a Yonex guy, right?
I was a Yonex guy for 4 years. Yeah. Like I was a Babolat guy for the bulk of my career. But just kind of like anything, I'm sure the hockey guys are the same way, right? Like I had a racket that I used for 10 years, not the same one, but the same mold, same model. And it was discontinued. I couldn't get any more. Kind of going back to our last question, I broke too many of them. I didn't have any left. So I had to switch rackets. So I switched to the Yonex for 4 years. And then Babolat ended up making my rackets again. So I switched back for the last few years of my career. But it's crazy because rackets are just such a feel thing, right? Like you can get it in your hands and you know immediately whether you like it or you don't. And then you tweak it from there, swing weight, balance, string, tension, you name it. There's a lot you could do with a racket to kind of fit your needs.
What were you playing for your specs? Were you playing like a 95 or 96? Like what were you?
I was a 98. And when I was playing my best, I was like, the string pattern, I had 16 in the main and 19 in the crosses because I wanted a little bit more open to get a bit more spin. But other than that, I didn't know what my weight was, what any of that stuff was. We have this company that we all use, or a lot of us use, that did, Federer's and Novak's and Sinner's, Alcaraz's rackets, those guys, and they weight and balance them. So when we get them in our hands, I'll have 15, 20 rackets the exact same. So when I do go on a bit of a rampage and break a couple, I know the next one's going to be the exact same. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like hockey sticks.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got their feel, right? The flex is in a different point. It's a little longer, a little shorter. The way they tape it, you name it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's also like traveling around, flying around by yourself. Like, how did you have to check your bags? Don't you guys carry like 10 to 12 rackets? You had to check that thing, right? Couldn't put it in the overhead.
Yeah, that gets it gets a little cumbersome at times, and then you get a little worried sometimes when you fly to London or you fly to Paris and the racket bag doesn't quite show up. You get a little nervous because that's how you make your money, right? You can always go buy new shoes or, get new clothes or whatever, right? But generally when I travel, I probably take 2 or 3 on the plane with me just in case, like they lost my bags. Just, I felt like an idiot walking through the airport with tennis rackets, but that's part of the job. And as long as you have your weapon of choice, I'm in good hands.
Yeah, you can't go to Dick's Sporting Goods and like just grab one and be playing like fucking, I don't know, Adrian Manarino and just be like, oh shit.
That's when you know you're having a bad day.
Yeah,
dude. I wanted to ask you, Steve, like, is the highlight of your career winning a bronze medal in Rio in 2016? I mean, that's pretty sick, man. Doubles, like that, especially with, you speak how the individual sport can kind of be a grind at times, but to win it with someone else, like that team aspect, that had to be pretty sick, no?
Yeah, no, it was like what's crazy about down there in Rio, like, in tennis, we're a draw, right? We're not, like a race or somewhere you just, it's all one time. So earlier in that day, actually, I lost in the quarterfinals of singles to Andy Murray, who went, I served for the match, he ended up going on to win gold. So like I was shattered that I didn't get a chance to play for medal in singles. And later that day, about 2 hours after that match finished, we had the bronze medal match, Jack Sock and myself in doubles. And if I would have lost that match, I would have probably killed myself, because you get fourth at the Olympics, you get nothing. Like, I mean, when I got home from singles, I lost in the quarters. They sent me a piece of paper that said, "Congrats on fifth." Like, I don't want a piece of paper. Like, don't even send it. I threw it in the trash. I mean, it's gone.
Yeah.
So thank God we won bronze that day. So, what a tough early in the day, but to win a medal at the Olympics, to see your flag go up was badass. And like, that is something that I'll have forever. And it's such a cool moment.
Yeah, man. I mean, and also, like, I know we touched on a little bit just with different surfaces and everything. Like, you won in Houston twice, singles, and that was clay. So were you a guy that, like, was your favorite surface on the clay Aiken?
This is funny because, I mean, hard court's my favorite surface. That's what I grew up on. I've accumulated 0 titles on it. I got 2 on grass and 2 on clay. So it's like, it's just crazy. But in those Houston tournaments, I just felt comfortable. You get to the kind of ends of those tournaments, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, the surface does matter to a certain degree, but if you're confident, if you're playing well, if you're mentally ready to like overcome the little things, the adversity of, a bad shot or a bad line call or something, that's all that really matters. And in those weeks, I, got through a couple of tough matches early, and then you feel like you're unstoppable. Like after the first, second round, I felt like I was no way going to lose those tournaments. So, such a, it's the best feeling when you can be the last man standing in any event, for sure.
Yeah, so much momentum too,
It's
like
crazy.
it's literally insane. I know we're jumping around. I mean, no one ever accused us of being great interviewers, so we're jumping around a little bit here. Who was a guy where you had his number, where you were gonna play him? You're like, I got this guy. And then who was a guy that he always had your number, and you're like, fuck, like I gotta maybe change my game or fix this, fix that, because he's got my number. Like, what would you say when it comes to something like that?
Yeah, it's actually funny. Actually, you mentioned that Adrian Manarino reference. I lost to him my first time I played him, and I think I beat him like 7 or 8 times after that in a row, and was like never close. So I felt like I had his number, And then on the other side, look, I had some bad records against Federer or Rafa, right, like the top guys. But there's this guy, Spanish guy, Roberto Batista Agut, who's still playing. He was like 8-0 against me and beat me like a fucking stepchild, like every time. Like, just one of those things, like I had no idea what to do. Like, it was a bad matchup for me, and he beat me bad. And it just was one of those things. It was just a bad matchup for me. So every time I played him, I was looking at flights to the next city or back home, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is weird. I brought up Manarino too. And the reason I actually, in my head, I was like, why the fuck did I say Manarino? He actually popped up on my Explore page this week. So that's why I said that. But that's crazy. Playing a guy like Federer, like even the Andy Murrays of the world, what was your mindset going in? Were you like, hey, I could beat these guys if I just, maybe whatever? Or was it like kind of, fuck, like, let me try to not lose in straight sets. Like, what was your personal mindset like?
Yeah, I was always like, whether it was the truth or not, like I always felt like I had a chance to win. Like, I'm going out there, like I'm not going to, concede victory before we walk out there. I think that's crazy as an athlete, but whether you truly believe that, or if I got to the moment of trying to beat those guys, like, that becomes a different story. Like, I could have beaten Murray at the Olympics. I had a chance to beat Roger at Indian Wells, maybe 2016 or 2017. But then there's a lot of times where you go out there. I played Roger a few times, and, he beat me handedly, right? In Australian Open. And he just makes these little adjustments in the match or from the last time you played him. He's like, this is what happened the last time we played and you were successful. I won't let that happen again. And he's able to kind of navigate those in-match like tactic changes, better than anyone. And that's what makes them so good. And there's a point out there where it's like, you're just trying to get games. So it's like, all right, let's get this to an hour and a half, or let's get this to some respectable number to when I go back to the locker room. I'm not going to just get complete made fun of by my buddies.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that too is because I think it was Bublik, and he was playing center, and he was like fucking around in practice. And I don't know, obviously, some guys, they have their own regimens, they take it more serious or not. Some guys like to stay loose. And I remember, I don't know if he made a comment, but it was something like he kind of knew, like, hey, like, I'm playing center, like, I'm fucked. So that's why I asked that.
Yeah, but it's crazy though, because like I mean, because I remember the quote, like Bublik basically he beat Sinner in a grass tournament leading up to Wimbledon. And then he plays him at the U.S. Open, let's call it 8 weeks later. And he's like, well, I have zero chance of beating him. Because these for us at the Grand Slams, like 3 out of 5 is such a different mental strength to beat these guys. You feel as if you can beat them 2 out of 3. You can get hot for an hour, right? Or you can get hot for 90 minutes and you can kind of play your game. But to beat these guys in, a 3-hour slugfest in a Grand Slam, that's just like a different battle mentally. And, I think that's the quote, like after when he played him at the U.S. Open, like he had already lost. As soon as he walked out there, like he was like, well, I'm good. Like, he got broken first game and it was like, where's back to Kazakhstan, like, let's get out of here.
Yeah. I remember he said something like that. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I remember thinking like, oh geez, like that's crazy that some guys are just like, yeah, this guy's a freak. He's too good.
That's not the right attitude to have, even though you might not believe it, but like at least give yourself some hope, right?
Yeah, you got to go. I mean, dude, at the end of the day, you're on the same surface. You're on the same tour. Like, fuck it. Anyone can be anyone any given time.
I was at that match and it was like he was in awe. He just kept looking around to the stands. He's like, Jesus Christ, like, what do I do? Like, he hadn't gotten broken all tournament leading up to that. And then, as I call him, Yannick Chinner just went out there and just beat the bags to him, dude. It was crazy. It was nuts. Yeah, Steve, I wanted to, the one crazy thing about tennis, though, is you warm up with the other guy. Like, for me, being a hockey guy, and especially in warm-ups, and especially slugging it out in the minors, a lot of times there might be a fight that breaks out. So if I was warming up with the guy, I might just be throwing him like just a bunch of jizz balls with a bunch of spin, trying to fuck with them, especially if I'm playing a guy that's ranked higher than me. Is that something you ever think about? Like, I'm just going to hit this guy a bunch of shitty nuggets so he just is not ready for the match? Or is it kind of like a gentleman's agreement? Like, hey, man, like, give me a couple in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gentleman's thing. Like, you just do it. But I think it's actually really stupid. Like, if I were the commissioner of tennis, like, I would take warm-ups completely out. Look, walk out there. I think hit a couple serves and, like, let's go. You guys are ready. Like, you're professionals. Like, be ready. You don't need to hit with your opponent. What other sport practices and warms up with their opponent before a match? So I'd like to kind of see away with that. But you don't see it too often these days. But I would say, like, early 90s, maybe, like, 80s even. You don't have to warm up with your opponent, right? So, like, if I'm playing you, and I don't want to warm up with you, I could just sit on the bench for 5 minutes and not warm up, which is crazy. Like, you don't see that happen too often, but like that will happen from time to time, like at the lower levels, kind of like, in our challenger levels, like the AHL, the ECHL, whatever. Like, you see some weird shit and you don't have to warm up with them. You can just sit on the bench and like wait for the match to start. And it's just a total mind game.
Yeah. Also, the fact that you guys share locker rooms, no? Like, isn't there just one locker room? Like, what's that about?
It's mostly good. Look, I think tennis players are a lot of talk, right? You'll see some stuff on the court, but generally nothing boils over. There's a few of us that would have liked things to kind of gone to the locker room, but tennis guys aren't that tough, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, right? There's a lot of talk. Dude, like what I tell people, we're basically glorified golden retrievers. We chase a fuzzy yellow ball around the court for hours on end. Like, it's what we do. But, it's weird in the locker room. You get some guys that are a little salty at one another, but nothing usually ever boils over too much.
Isn't that crazy though? Like, say you're playing a first round match against Joker and you're like, have to go up to him and be like, hey man, like, can I get on the Peloton now? I got to warm up. And he's just like locked in and he's like looking at you like, dude, you're a fucking pigeon. Like, no, this is my bike.
Yeah, that happens. Like, there's some locker rooms and some tournaments where like the top seeds have their own thing where they kind of have their own. Yeah. But it's weird because like these top guys, like you guys said earlier, they have these like teams, right? And they're so dialed in from like every minute, like before the match, where they've got their bands and their ball and their bike and their treadmill, whatever. They're just dialed in. So they don't even know what's going on in the outside world. I was always the dumbass in the locker room, kind of cracking jokes, keeping it light because I didn't want to take it too seriously before I walked out there. And then about 5-10 minutes, it's like, all right, like let's get going, let's get serious. But it's too stressful thinking about these things too far in advance.
Yeah. This might be a really stupid question, but I always wonder this is guys, especially, well, it's probably a stupid question with the guys that are like fighting tooth and nail for every dollar. Does it ever weigh on you in the middle of the match? Like, hey, if I fucking win this match, I get a couple $100,000 extra or something like that. Are you even thinking about that? Are you just thinking about your ranking? I always wonder, especially in the Grand Slams, like when an underdog is, let's say he wins the first round, he shouldn't have, and then he gets a little bit more prize money. For me personally, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I would be thinking about that prize money. Like, fuck, if I can get this extra 75 grand, this extra 400,000, like, let's go. I don't know if that's probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do guys think about that? I think, and it's not so much the top guys or the guys in the top 100 who've kind of cemented their place on the tour, but if you're the guy who's ranked like, 180 and you're in the second round of a slam, and there's $180,000 on the line for winning this match, like you're thinking about that, and that sometimes makes you more nervous. That kind of puts pressure on you, but it's real, right? Like, at a certain point, guys kind of stop checking the bank account, on every Friday after the tournaments when that money hits the account. But you're still looking when you got that 6-figure, check coming in from a slam or a big tournament win or something like that. Like you're refreshing like the Wells Fargo account. You want to know what, when it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, I would be, obviously it would be great to get a better ranking and beat the guy that's ranked higher than me. But I always think to myself, like, dude, I'll be thinking about the fucking money. I would just be like, in the middle of the match, I would be like, dude, like, dial it in. This is like a couple hundred grand.
No, for sure. And that weighs on guys. But like, look, like the more you win, like the less you have to think about it. All this thing is like very cyclical, right? Like just the more you win, the easier it gets, the less you have to think about it. But the lower ranked guys at these bigger tournaments, like that's definitely on their mind for sure.
Yeah.
You're playing in Monaco. You're like, fuck, like if I win this, I can extend my stay for probably another 2 weeks. Like
exactly.
This ain't bad.
Did you ever play at that tournament in Monaco? I asked some other guy that was on tour and he looked at me like I was an idiot. He's like, no, I never went to Monaco. So I don't know if that was a stupid question.
No, it's one of the big ones. Like, I mean, we have the Grand Slams and that's the next tier, right? These Master Series events. I played it once in my career. It's at a bad time of the year for us. Like for us in the States, like it's the week after Houston. So like, for me, I was supposed to play it the years I won Houston, but the way our schedule works, and this is why it's crazy, is I win Houston on Sunday. I would have had to have flown Monday because the final's so late to get in Tuesday morning to play Tuesday afternoon in Monaco. So like, it just doesn't make sense physically to do that. So I never played that event other than one time, but it's an insane event. Like, you're there, it's picturesque, you got all the yachts there, but it's a great event, but I only played it once in my career.
Maybe that's why that's the way he reacted to me. Cause I obviously like, I'm relatively new. I've only been watching it like on a regular basis. Like I'm addicted to it. I'm like watching the Asian swing right now at like 3:30 in the morning. Like I'm fucking full blown
fan right there.
Yeah. But I remember getting that like, no, I didn't go there. So maybe that's why. Yeah. The travel is just fucking out of control.
If you're European though, you're playing that for sure. Like 100% that's on the schedule. You don't even question it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
How about like your favorite ball? Like some tournaments you're playing Wilson, some you're playing Penn, some you're playing Dunlop. Are you ever like, fuck, like this Dunlop nugget? Like it's just slow. Like I don't love it. Do you have a favorite ball? Is that something?
Yeah, for sure. Look, I mean, that's the hard part with us. Like every week you got to adjust to a new court, a new surface, a new ball, whatever. There is balls that are better than others. I think I love the Wilson US Open ball that they play with at the US Open. It's like a special kind of ball. So that was always the best one that I could play with, but it just depends on the courts really. Because if the courts are really fast, the ball's kind of a little bit less relevant. But when they get really slow and gritty and the balls kind of fluff up and they get really slow, that's when you start to see like different kind of results and different, in the tennis world, you start seeing certain guys wins because the court is so slow and the ball is so slow. But for me, I wanted it to be really lively, a light ball. So that's why those US Open balls that were played with at the US Open, that's by far the best ball for us.
Yeah, I even noticed like that Dunlop. I'm always like, that's a slow nugget, and my
it
service
just gets like heavy. It's like hitting a squash. Like it's brutal.
Yeah, like my second serve is probably about 42 miles an hour, and with that Dunlop ball, it feels like 38, man. Like Stevie, you might have a tough time returning my second serve, dude. It barely gets over the net, and it has a little Asian zing on it.
It's different. Like, look, the slower it is, sometimes that's tricky.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
Like you'd have to be standing at the tee to return that thing. You know what I mean? Like you're almost that far up.
Yeah, we my boy Sam and I we played these guys who were like 4-5, 5-0s a couple months back. They were up 40-love every game. We gave them 40-love every game, played with deuces, and we squeaked them out 6-3 in the third. Like, so it was close, but we gave them a lead every game, but like it was still close. I think you'd have a chance. We might have to get you in on one of these.
That would be so funny if we played like us two versus you and your podcast host Isner over there, man. We might have to be up, 40-0, and you might have to spot us like 3 or 4 games.
I don't think we get a point.
No, I don't think we would either.
Like you guys would have to play the racket upside down, try to hit it with the grip.
We'll play with the frying pan. We'll make it even. We'll find a way to do
it. I think we would probably lose to you guys straight up left-handed, like for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Straight up, I think I like our chances there.
People don't realize like how good. Remember that guy we played with Uppy and
he was 70 years old.
Dude, he was like 70 something years old, and he took it easy at first just because we suck, and then he decided to turn it on, like his competitive switch. You just see it flip, and he was like doing sneak attacks like Feds does. Like when you go to the net, like I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's nasty.
Yeah,
he's 70.
He played a big. He played
in Wimbledon.
Yeah, he played at Big Canyon. He was a doubles guy. I forget his name.
Yeah,
but he was 70 years old, and he was a 70-year-old Steve that needed meniscus surgery, and he still kicked our ass.
Dude. That's why you guys got to bring in the movement. You guys got to get him on the move, baby. Come on now.
Yeah, start shit talking at least, right? Like something. I'm surprised there's not more. We went over it like it's more of a gentlemanly thing, but I'm surprised that guys don't shit talk at the net more, like during the handshake sometimes, especially in college. Like, didn't you guys call your own
more in college? Way more in college for sure.
You have to call in and out by yourself, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because that's when it gets like a little dicey, right? Like, because you're giving bad calls to somebody, or somebody giving you bad call, like you're going to say something. So that's when it kind of goes sideways. But on tour, like we have referees on every one. Like now they have the electronic line calling, so it's completely impartial. So like you're not getting mad at anyone, right? Like your opponent's not cheating you. Like it's just a computer.
Yeah.
I would always be shit talking the ball boys too. I'd be like, "Fuck, fella, bad hands there, buddy," or "Good feet, fella, good feet." Just to get like everyone involved.
I'm with you.
Lighten it up.
I'm with you on that one. Look, tennis is too stuffy. I think we need more. Like I like when they're playing music at the Open now and things like that. Like let's make this. I get why Wimbledon is right, like very proper. I totally get that. I wouldn't want to change that, but like I would love to see a bit more like the Waste Management Open for golf. Like let's get some of that in tennis. Like we need to have a bit more fun.
Yeah, I'm completely on board with that. Yeah, everyone can be reserved at Wimbledon. That's the one. Just we'll go there. It's like doing Christmas at your girlfriend's house or whatever. Just stay reserved. I'm not gonna have 11 old fashions. But like somewhere else. Like I feel like in Palm Springs would be a good tournament.
Yeah.
India Wells, that would be a good tournament to do that at.
Or fucking Miami would be great.
Miami, yeah, I'd love to set up in Miami. It was sick
at the Hardcock Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's why they gotta have us covering tennis. I mean,
they do.
We got to learn a little bit more. Maybe we can bring some pizzazz, if you will.
That's what we need.
We need a Saudi League tennis.
Yeah, that's gonna be controversial in a couple different ways, but I mean, if the money's green, I don't give a shit.
100%.
I'm with you guys on that one. If they started the live tennis, I think there'd be 95 guys out of the top 100 that would go play.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Sure, and I don't blame them. But yeah, man, I mean, that's fucking I mean, I don't want to keep you here too long all day. I mean, I can ask shit all day, but like, this is just going to be a cliche question. Playing a guy like Roger Federer, like, did you go, I mean, how was his ball, like, especially with that backhand? Did you get mesmerized by it, or as an athlete and a competitor in the top 100 and shit like that yourself, do you not really, go full fanboy? Like, what was that like playing a guy like that?
It's tricky because, I mean, you look, like, how good he is, right? Like, he's one of the goats of the game. The only time I really felt like I was nervous or like it took me a while to kind of get into the match was I played him at Wimbledon center court, 4th round. And like, they walk you from like the locker room, whatever. And you walk by this like hallway of like straight memorabilia, but it's all his, right? Like it's his sweater vest and his pants because he's won it 55 times. And you're like, holy shit, like I'm about to go out on center court and play this guy. And like, it took me like, good 15, 20 minutes to not shit my pants. And, then you feel good, right? Like I lost the first set. I'm like, okay, like we could start playing some tennis now. But that was like really the one time I was like, oh, like this is a different feel. And that was like 5 years into my pro career. So it wasn't even like I was new. And I felt like, okay, like this is different, right? Like I've seen this court a billion times on TV, but now getting out here for the first time, this is because you don't get to see it until you get out there. So it's pretty wild.
That is crazy. And even just playing a guy like Rafa, man, I would be looking at him across the net and be like, I would get mesmerized just the fact that he's wearing a $400,000 watch on. It's like, this guy's wearing a Richard Mille. Like, he's got more on his wrist than I paid for my house. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, but the best thing about Rafa is he's like so, not in a bad way, but kind of like clueless of his surroundings. Like, he's so locked in that he doesn't even notice like what he's wearing, what he's, what the watch costs, whatever. He just goes out there and he just sees red and he's just going to beat your ass.
Yeah, it's almost like he's
just
a little bit autistic.
Got blinders on.
Yeah, and he's doing that fucking. I would lose to him right away just based on. I can't stand that. Like, I know I usually don't give a shit about what guys do, but the way he like does
it's too much.
The nose, and he picks his. It's like, dude, like every time. Like, how are you doing that?
Too much. Like, you just sit there and you're like, okay, like, I'll get ready when you're ready. Like,
yeah,
let you go through your routine.
It's crazy. That routine is crazy. What he does.
Yeah,
he goes the ear, the nose.
He's got like all the bottles lined up. You kick one over on accident. He's like running back over there to like whatever. It's crazy, but hard to argue his accomplishments. It all worked. Whatever he did, it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just how much bigger his left bicep and forearm was than his right. I've never seen anything like that. Like, it was just I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah. That forehand was nasty. I played him once on clay in Madrid. That was a losing affair on my behalf. I didn't expect to win that one either, but that was a tough one. Fun experience, but relatively close, but it had zero chance of winning.
The crowd's definitely not showing you any love there.
Not even my coach, I think, was cheering for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. He's getting Rafa's autograph before the match.
Yeah, basically. He's like, this is going to be over quick. I think I'm going to go start lunch early.
Yeah.
Do Americans get any love overseas, like at any time? Like, what I could see a lot of the time the crowd shifts towards the underdog, I feel like, because they want to see more tennis. But do American players kind of get a lot of flack overseas at all?
No, it's not so much flack. When they're playing somebody like from the home country that they're playing, it's like you're in, Wimbledon and you're playing a British guy, like nobody's cheering for you. But if you're playing, another guy from Spain or another guy from, Russia or whatever, like the crowd will be on your side for sure. Like, it totally depends on you as a player, like your personality, how good you are, like, what kind of fan base that you've built over your career. But whenever you're playing somebody like in a foreign country and it's their country, zero.
Yeah,
unless it's like your coaching box. That's it.
Yeah. It's crazy how much the crowd affects the player because, like we said, you're by yourself. So if the crowd's going for you, I feel like that would really help,
Yeah, dude. You see it on the women's side all the time. Saba's always freaking out. Coco Gauff, I think her coach has almost filed for a domestic a couple times just the way she's bucked. But it's just crazy, dude.
Kyrgios, have you ever played Kyrgios?
Yeah, played him few times, I think, or maybe just twice. We're 1-1 against one another. But it's just like, I played him once in Shanghai, actually. Like, I won the first set in a tiebreaker, and then he just like walks to the net and he goes, "Dude, I'm done. I'm good." I'm like, "All right, man. Like, thanks. I'll see you in the lunchroom." Like, we got to the locker room.
I got a dinner reservation. I got to get out of here.
Yeah, like we got to the locker room and he's like, "Hey, man, like all good. I just couldn't play anymore." I'm like, "Fine with me, whatever, man. If you want to stop playing, like I'm moving on. I don't really care. Like, you stop whenever you want."
Yeah, he is such an anomaly. I feel like especially in that world, like how he was wearing that red Jordan hat during the Wimbledon. He was getting his. It's like, bro, like I know he doesn't care. Part of me, like, he's himself, and I part of me respects that. But some of the times is like, dude, like what the fuck is going on? Like, I feel like he doesn't even warm up, and the guy's got like one of the best serves. Like, he just smacks the shit out of that thing without even trying. It's like he could put the ball wherever he wants. So unique.
Yeah, he's so talented. He could, he could have been better, I thought, but he doesn't really care what anybody else thinks, I guess. And, I think he does try to be different, right? He wants to be different. So he's like really kind of jumped into that kind of camp. And that's why he's doing that, at Wimbledon, right? Like, I'm all for change in tennis culture or whatever, but like still Wimbledon is Wimbledon, right? You're not going to, Augusta playing golf and wearing shorts, jean shorts and like a cutoff tee, right? Like you're going to go there. You're going to be proper, but you go to other events. I totally get it. Like, be yourself and be you, but he's just one of a kind, super talented. And, not sure he'll make it back with all the injuries he's had, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Stevie, before this podcast goes 24 hours straight, we want to thank you for your time. And I really appreciate you coming on, brother. My last question for you, obviously you're an avid Ducks fan. Is the future bright in Anaheim, or what are we thinking on that front, my friend? You got Quinville in there now. You got Patty Verbeek at the helm. Some younger players that show some promise, but I still think we're a little bit a ways, fella.
unfortunately, I think we're still a little bit away. And look, I grew up right as a kid, watching obviously Timu, Paul Correa, the Niedermeyers, them winning the Cup in 07, like absolutely dominating for the next 5 or 6 years, never getting back to a Stanley Cup. So I'm very spoiled as a fan, as a kid, kind of growing up as the Ducks. But look, the rebuild in hockey is tricky, and they've done a good job with all the pieces that they've got. Now it's literally time for Leo Carlson, Mason McTavish, Beckett Seneca, Cutter Gauthier, these young guys to kind of step up. I mean, Jackson Lacombe, he's locked in for another 8 years now. Lucas Dostal hopefully is the heir apparent to the Ducks pipes, and I will back my team. Look, it's been tough around the house. My wife doesn't like me watching loser franchises day in and day out, but I'm going to continue to do that until it turns around. I'm a fan for life, but Timu tells me the skies are blue ahead, so I'm going to trust in the Finnish Flash and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's take a little bit of time here, but you got some pieces there. Maybe a new arena on the horizon too. If the Samuelis could cough up some of that coin to maybe put some more money into the Honda Center. It's a little stinky there, but I hope they're good for the game, man. I really do think the NHL needs them. So, Bob, you got anything else for Steve? This has been awesome, dude. We really appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, boys, I appreciate you guys having me. I love what you guys do. I mean, it's great for the game. I love getting sports is fun, but it's, sports is as serious as a job, but you guys make it fun. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. We're actually going to go watch USC practice here. They're in Chandler in the greater Scottsdale area on Wednesday. So I'm going to pop over there, see Mark. I'll tell him I say what up. Thanks again, dude.
Yeah, Steve,
care,
nice
boys.
to meet
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you a lot, man. We appreciate it.
See ya.
Folks, that was Steve Johnson. This is a hockey show, but also a tennis show. I could go on and on just asking like shit about like what it's like to be on tour and play who and play where, because it's so much different than any other fucking sport. You're by yourself. You're traveling around the world. You are absolutely grind. There's no salary, dude. Like it's fucking ballsy to try to make it. It's actually like a huge investment that might not pay off.
It's like a startup podcast.
Yeah. And look at us. We have nothing. But it's like there's so many questions. It's like he mentioned it. Being alone by yourself at some 125 level tournament, and the prize money is like $6,000, and you spent 12 just to get there. It can get dark real quick, dude. It's so mental. It's really blows my mind. It's like fascinating to me. Like I don't. I mean, you gotta have an iron chin to pursue that tennis dream.
I mean, think about it, and you're just lining up your expenses, not even your finances for the year, that you don't know how much money you're going to make, but at the start of the year, every year, you're going to spend roughly $300,000 just in your coaches, your physio, and your travel. And then you're like, okay, well, I probably got to go make about at least $1 million just to kind of break even.
100%,
which is crazy, man. And we're talking to a guy that was the 21st, overall player in the world at one point in terms of rankings, and a great doubles player.
Yep.
And think about all the guys just grinding way below that, not even in the top 50, 100. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
Like, you could be ranked 200th and you're on food stamps, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And obviously he's a professional athlete and had a great career, and he's a competitor himself. So I didn't want to be like, what was it like to play Rafa, or what was it like? But I do want to ask those questions, like, because it's just those top guys are so different. Like, you got to think Sinner and Alcaraz are running the whole world right now in tennis, and it's just two dudes.
And whacking the same chick.
Are they bunking the same chick?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Well, they were in New York, but yes.
But it's like the whole world out of all the tennis players, and no one can touch those guys. It's just like, how are you that good, dude?
It's just amazing. We've talked about on this show, but you look at a guy like Fritz Magic, second, third, fourth, he's a fourth rated player in the world, and
number one American,
and he can't even get a sniff.
How
against those guys?
Like, how though? Like, how are they so good?
Tommy Nonfert-Paul, 10th overall, 12th ranking, 14, whatever he is. I mean, he is not even in the same fucking area code, let alone state or country, as these guys in terms of talent level.
It's got to be like a McDavid thing where their bodies are just built for tennis. It has to be some sort of biological, because you can practice all you want.
It's the mental. It's the mental.
Well, it's mental too, but it's also like, you look at the way Sinner's body is, and I don't spend a lot of time looking at men's bodies, but I look at Sinner's body and I'm like, that guy is built for baseline tennis, just smacking that fucking thing like that. Just look at the way his body is.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And then you look at a guy like Rafa who just
picks his ass all day
and just had the mental game just to wear these fucking guys down point after point until he just disintegrates you and dissolves you into merely nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's different ways to win and there's different ways to whack, but it's just like these guys, they do both. They whack you and they beat you.
And they just see the game differently. They're tweaking their game. Like it's really funny that Kyrgios is like, yeah, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm done. Like I don't think I could ever do that because fans pay tickets to go there. And I know that's the last thing. Like it's his career. Maybe he was hurt. I don't know. I don't know the situation. But Kyrgios, the way he just goes, yeah, I'm finished. I would be like, thank God.
Yeah.
More money for me.
There's only one of those guys. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that just retired at 27.
So gangster.
I'm out. It was cool though that he, talking to Stevie about a bronze medal, like that's nasty to have.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I should have asked him what it was like in the Olympic Village.
Like you're on the. Yeah, I wanted to get. I was in full fanboy mode. I was like, this is sweet. I just want to ask him a ton of questions about tennis.
Yeah, I mean, we're not fucking. No one ever accused us of being interviewers, like I said, but it's just we're just chilling talking about tennis. But yeah, we probably should have talked about the Olympic Village.
Yeah, whacking. He's married, but.
Yeah, I can't talk.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I guess. We're gonna go to the chat right now. We're an hour and 30 in. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, we got Milwaukee. Those tickets are on sale now. Milwaukee, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. All the tickets are out now for our live show on this side of the calendar, 2025. Ryan Lochte in Rio. Yeah, remember that guy, that swimmer, and then he lied about something, said he got robbed or whatever.
Yeah, just because he banged a dude.
Yeah, what was that about?
Well, he dyed his hair and then whacked a dude that he thought was a chick. Then he said he got robbed. I mean, we'll do anything for 200 views, and I think that's what Lochte was doing too. He was a modern day, HP3 guy.
Yeah. Any updates on the Home by 3 shiesties or do-rags? We got to take care of the current orders right now. We're going to be shipping those this week. And then we're going to come out with a Christmas line that will get to you before Christmas. I don't think that shiesties and do-rags are in that drop, though. I mean, I could double check with our do-rag correspondent, but thoughts on Shindiana football? Number 3 in the nation. Is there an Indiana comp?
I have no thoughts either. They beat Oregon. They beat the Ducks. They went in the chin of Eugene and smoked the Ducks out. Smoked them like a 7-gram blunt of sativa. Other than that, I have no idea. I don't give a shit about college football.
Same. Thoughts on Monday night predictions? I don't even know who's playing.
Who's playing?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I have no idea. Dude, the other day when we were on stream at Book It, shout out to Book It. I don't know. Shout out to Book It HQ. We were like, I was like, where is Anthony Richardson? Is he hurt? And they looked at me like I was fucking crazy. They're like, dude, he's not even the starter. And I was like, oh. I don't watch sports that much.
I watch football when it's convenient to watch football. I just can't do like 9 hours on the couch every day. And that's all I watched that game last night.
Commanders versus Bears in Washington, D.C. I have no idea who's going to win. I don't care. I don't have any. I don't know.
Commanders. Jane Daniels. I'll take them. Put your entire bank account on it and use this as advice.
Thoughts on Mike Yo?
Pussy.
Who wins in who wins in a fight? Trouba or Nick Kronwall?
Trouba. Kronwall was a great hitter, but he never shed his laundry, and neither did I, because I'm a huge pussy too. But Trouba's gonna win that fight.
Who is more of a granite chin, Douglas Murray or Aaron Asham?
I mean, that's not even close.
Asham?
Yeah, the pride of Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. Are you kidding me? That guy grew up going to gunfights with knives and coming out on top.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Homebuy3.shop for all your merch needs. If you want to support the show, please do that. This episode is brought to you by Free Pouch. Get it at freepouch.com. Let us know how it is.
Yep. Visit freepouch.com. Go get your lip luggage. Go check that out. If you're looking to get addicted to nicotine or you're already addicted, well, switch it up. Go to Free Pouch. I've had a few. I'm addicted again to chew. I took a decade off, but now I'm chewing again because of Free Pouch. So go check it out.
Yeah, I do not think we're supposed to say that during the read, but that's okay. That show is.
Don't get